exclusive articles.
Welcome into NCAA Volleyball on ESPN. Today, the field of 64 gets underway as the Austin portion of the NCAA tournament opens up play with SMU taking on Texas State. The Mustangs and the Bobcats about to get underway. Later on tonight, it's the defending national champs, Texas, taking on Texas A&M. Alongside Shelby Coppage, I'm Alex Sobin. Shelby, here we go. It's the best time of the year. The postseason has arrived here in Austin.
SMU and Texas State worked hard to get here. Volleyball, there's 3 seasons: non-conference, conference, and postseason. Those first 2 seasons are all to get right here. Some teams expect to be here, and some teams expect to win the first round. The whole point in the first round is who can play with the least amount of pressure on them.
As for Texas State, let's take a look at how they got here. 20 wins on the season, 20-9 overall. Their 7th consecutive 20-win season, going 12-4 in the Sun Belt. Celebrations abound as they earn their first ever at-large bid, 13th overall appearance in the tourney, and KJ Johnson and Jay DeFree earning Sun Belt honors. But how about the Austin native Sam Wunsch having a great season?
Texas State outside hitter Sam Wunsch, who Sean Hewitt said is one of the most competitive players he has ever taught. She's went through a lot. Last season she had a red shirt, and that was shocking news. She had a huge front row of seniors in front of her, but she didn't transfer. She put in the work, she stayed, and now she is fully shining under the brightest of lights.
As for Texas State's opponent, SMU comes in as the 7th seed, 25-6 overall on the year, having a tremendous season. They won the American Athletic Conference for the first time since 2016, 25 overall wins for the first time since that very same year. And the big victory taking down Baylor back in September. A tremendous job done by the AAC Coach of the Year, Sam Erger. Her team hasn't lost in 60 days.
SMU head coach Sam Erger went through a lot transitioning into this role, and this is her first season with her own recruits, her players, and last year in her first season, she was left with 6 players. She went right to the transfer portal. She had to dig deep in her book of recruiting, which is her specialty, being the former recruiting at Baylor. And she has great experience, and she had to fully build this team from the ground up, and they are fully bought into her and her teaching.
Her counterpart and good friend, Sean Hewitt, in charge of Texas State in his 4th year, making his 2nd NCAA tournament appearance. Also paid a visit to the postseason in 2020. As for what's at stake for these 2 squads, Texas State looking for their first NCAA tournament win since 2020. And for SMU, the last time they did it was 2016. So here we go, the postseason about to get underway. Again, after this, it'll be Texas taking on arch rival Texas A&M. The winner of that match will play the winner of this one tomorrow night here from Gregory Gym. Some players to watch over the next 24 hours. In this one, KJ Johnson, Sun Belt newcomer of the year for Texas State, and the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year for SMU, Emma Clothier. Later on tonight, Madison Skinner and Logan Lednicki will take the floor.
Really excited for the matchup between Clothier and KJ Johnson. And the best thing about this match is there's so many overlapping storylines, which we will get into, from the players to the head coaches. There's a lot of ties that go deep between SMU and Texas State.
For SMU, it's their final year in the American Athletic Conference. They will head to the ACC in July. They won 95% of their conference matches. That's a program record. And how about all the accolades and awards for the Mustangs? They earned AAC Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Setter of the Year, and Libero of the Year honors, wrapping up a tremendous regular season.
Coach Erger looks pretty pumped about that, Alex. She's ready for this match.
And she was actually recruited by the head coach of Texas State, Sean Hewitt, back when he was a part of the Bowling Green coaching staff back around 2007. So these two go way back, and we are finally ready to get going. SMU 25 wins on the year, Texas State 20. The winner moves on to play tomorrow night. The loser is done for the season. That one off the tape. And the point by Emma Clothier, the two-time All-American.
It's a good sign for SMU when they can run their offense through the middle. The first serve receive ball, that shows they're already in system from the get-go.
Naya Chimay, senior transfer out of Wyoming, serving. A lot of talented transfers brought into this SMU team. But Texas State answers. Sophie Childs with the point. That's one, actually, you mentioned her earlier, played at Vandergrift just up the road. And we will see a lot from her today. Serving for Texas State now, Alyssa Ortega. Team high 39 aces on the year. The set again, that one off the top of the net. Off the block, diving in to save it was Chimay. Off a couple of Bobcats, and SMU with the point.
A lot of great digs going on both sides right now, and Purdue finally able to put that ball down, but I'm liking the scrappiness that both teams are showing so far.
There's Lauren Olinger, another transfer brought in from Boise State. Tremendous career, especially when you talk about her 155 aces. Wheeler with the point, Jamison Wheeler.
Good spot by Wheeler, going for that deep corner, making it hard for Texas State to decide, is that the left back or middle back that's going to cut that off?
Wheeler played high school ball nearby at Lake Travis. Mustangs up early by 2. Pushed over, and it drops in.
KJ Johnson still making good things happen, even when her team is so out of system. That can only last for so long against SMU. They're really good at answering their challenges given them to them early.
Here is Jacqueline Lee, junior from the Woodlands, 24 aces on the season. And for Texas State, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They lost 99% of their production from a season ago. They get the ace there.
I like the excitement that Lee's already showing. That's what you got to have, especially early on in the tournament. When you get an ace, you get pumped up. That is contagious to your teammates on the floor.
It's a far cry from the first 2 rounds last year in this arena, where 3 of the 4 teams were from outside the state of Texas. Here is Wheeler tooling the block.
Wheeler is one of the 6 that carried over following Sam Erger. And Erger said that she's such a strong hitter. One of those strengths is finding the hands of her opponent, like you just saw.
Emma Clothier, the American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, having one of the greatest seasons in SMU history.
Nice dig.
Chimay. Wheeler, too strong.
Great offense by SMU, but I really liked that dig to begin with. Going with the one arm, but also pointing it back to target, being really efficient.
KJ Johnson serving. She just got here 3 months ago. SMU recruited her too. Didn't work out, and Sam Erger reached out to her friend. Sean Hewitt said she may be a good addition, but right there, the service error by Johnson. SMU back up by 1. A lot of tournament experience for Johnson during her time with Baylor and Fairfield. The sophomore out of Houston, Casey Batenhorst, serving. 30 aces to pace the Mustangs this season. That one high off of Frazier and hammered home by Jamison Wheeler.
And great connection with Wheeler in that setting window. That ball was set really low, which forced Wheeler to speed up that arm swing, making it really hard for Texas State to read early enough.
Wheeler led the team in kills this season, 345, 3-on-4 swings so far today. Here is Wunsch winding up. And the point for Texas State, Sam Wunsch. Or for Texas State, making their first NCAA tournament appearance in 3 years. Battled a number of injuries throughout the season. 5 different players having concussions, but now fully healthy. Ready to go. SMU answers right back, tooling the block.
Both SMU and Texas State are just going back and forth right now. That shows you why that serve and pass game is so important, especially in that first set.
Here is Wheeler. Nearly set a program record last year with 48 aces, and somehow Texas State keeps it alive. Swooping in, and too far from SMU. Shimei, point Texas State.
Shimei was trying to cut that ball clearly. Right idea. I like the form, the arm swing, but just not enough snap. Drop that pinky a little more, make that ball fall on the court.
Both teams hitting above 400 right now. That one bounced around, and Shimei ends up tooling the block.
Great adjustment by Shanae. She originally had the air, wanted that set again, and came back making production, going in front of her with the hands, not afraid of the block.
Shimei, one of those key transfers brought in, this is a player right here, Sino Uluwave, who was a senior transfer from Toledo, had never played libero before this season. He's an outside hitter and has adapted quite well, to say the least. The attack. Now that one off of Ortega, point SMU. The Mustangs using portal power to help build this team. Key transfers who ended up being the AAC Player of the Year, Libero of the Year, Setter of the Year. Sam Erger said when she arrived, there were only 8 players left on the team, and after her first meeting, they were down to 6.
Would love to know what Coach Erger said in that meeting.
Oh my goodness, rebuilt the team through the portal and recruiting, and the Mustangs get the point there, now up by 4. 6-2 SMU run. Timeout here at Gregory Gym. Take a timeout here in Austin in the opening match of the postseason from the Greg. The defending national champions waiting in the wings. Texas will take on Texas A&M to open up their postseason play, coming up at approximately 6 p.m. Central, right here from Gregory Gym. That should be a heck of a matchup. And this one, SMU up by 4 early against the Bobcats of Texas State. And there's an ace for the Mustangs, Uluwave.
Uluwave is so talented defensively from the service line. She's really that utility player, and that's what you have to be coming into a team, never playing libero, then being libero of the year. That shows she can do it all.
18 aces on the season. Texas State trying to answer. SMU setting up Glover, and she hammers that one home. That was Natalie Purdue there, who's coming off a breakout regular season. Spent her first 2 years at Arkansas and living up to her potential this season with SMU. Mustangs hitting efficiently, to say the least. 615 hitting percentage in the opening set from the AAC champs. The block it goes, bouncing around, back to Purdue. Diving in was Ortega.
Hitting it for Texas State, but what's really going wrong for the Bobcats is SMU is just getting everything up. Texas State has given really good swings, placement, but SMU's just playing the long game right now.
Uluwave serving for SMU. Mustangs on a 9-2 run. Again, they have won 15 in a row. Off the tape. In the middle, not getting all that one was Jade DeFree, Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Mustangs now by 8. (7-0) SMU run. Coming into this Region has the 7th seed. Bobcats answer with the point.
Much needed point by Wunsch. Huge kill. Lefty on the left side and trying to just give it her all. Not going for tips or rolls, going for that power shot, trying to find that momentum for her team.
Pushed over. And that one hammered in. Bobcats trying to go on a run here in the middle of set number 1.
And again, it's momentum. Wunsch getting a kill. Now Walsh, that's what you need in volleyball. You got to go on a run and keep it as long as possible.
SMU hitting 500, Texas State 176. There's Johnson wide.
Point SMU. Serving for SMU, number 12, Maya Chalet.
So for SMU, they beat Texas A&M right here in this gym in the postseason back in 2016. Before coming up short against Texas in the next round, and there is an ace for SMU.
Chimay so aggressive from the service line, going for that deep aggressive flow. And if I'm her, I'm going directly again for KJ Johnson. Try and get her off her game and in her head early.
Nice dig by Wheeler. Chimay couldn't get it over the net.
Mustang's just out of system right there. Chimay trying to have that back row attack, but clearly so obvious it was a tip. When it's that obvious, just make sure it's over and in. Keep it in play. You're not trying to trick anyone at that point.
Alyssa Ortega with the serve and the service error. Talked about Texas State losing so much production from a year ago, 9 seniors and 6 starters. But Sean Hewitt has done an unreal job getting this team back into the postseason despite rebuilding. That one high off Olinger. Pushed over by Wheeler. Ortega slid in there to save it, and KJ Johnson finishes off the point.
Perfect kill by KJ Johnson. The approach, the swing, the eye coordination, trying to read that defense in real time, and how high she gets off the ground. And the defense is unmatched for Texas State. Bleeding from the defense to the offense, that's the momentum the Bobcats need right now.
Johnson 2 kills on 5 swings. Jacqueline Lee serving, the junior from the Woodlands. Sliding over, and denied was Clothier by the Texas State block.
This is the most relaxed Texas State has looked the entire first set so far. And now we're getting a block in from KJ Johnson. She's really doing a lot of things defensively and offensively.
This is one of the best blocking teams in the nation. Texas State 5th in the country in blocks per set, and there they are again.
Again, KJ Johnson, 2 blocks in a row. You gotta avoid her. SMU has to get around because Johnson is on fire right now in the solo block. It's all in the timing and the read and how high she gets off the ground.
Here comes Texas State. Lee serving again. Bobcats within 5. But a service error makes it a 6-point set yet again. This region in general features 3 of the top 10 blocking teams in the country: Texas State, Texas, and Texas A&M. There's Clothier getting ready to serve for SMU. Senior transfer from FSU, had a terrific career with the Noles. Wanted to be closer to home, back in the state of Texas, and ends up getting the point SMU and Wheeler.
Deceptive hit by Wheeler. Personally, I thought she was going for that hard shot hit. She just dropped her elbow a little more and deceived Texas State in getting that roll shot. Great hit.
SMU trying to pull away here, but we saw Texas State fight back. How much were there early on jitters here? First postseason match for some of these Bobcats, especially a young Texas State team.
A lot of jitters for the Bobcats, and you talked about it earlier, Alex. Texas State lost 99% of their production. Every starter you saw for the Bobcats last season is gone. That's a whole new team for Sean Hewitt. Not for the practice gym, though. What tells me about Sean Hewitt's team is the fact that these players didn't transfer. They stayed, they went through the work, they waited their turn, and that shows you a lot about him as a coach. Personally, I've always enjoyed talking to him. He's definitely a player's coach, and that says a lot when your players wait behind huge front row setters. Emily DeWalt, 5-time setter of the year, now gone. Now setter Ryan Torres. It's her year, it's her turn. Texas State has absolutely been through a lot. They have a very similar story to SMU.
He has gone 54-8 in Sun Belt play, fastest coach in program history to reach 50 conference wins. Again, Texas and Texas A&M will square off after this one, approximately 6 p.m. Central, depending when this one comes to an end. The gym will be slightly more crowded for that one between the arch rivals, the Longhorns and the Aggies, as Texas looks on. Take a look at the most wins in the state of Texas by D1 programs since 2021. The Longhorns at 77. The two teams playing right now, SMU at 65 and Texas State at 64. Play ready to resume right now. SMU hitting 273 with a 7-point lead. Texas State hitting 136. And the Bobcats answer. Bailey Hanner, the sophomore.
That is the offense Sean Hewitt is looking for. Hanner coming in for that slide. Haven't seen the slide from Texas State yet. That shows you how good the passing is and that connection that Torres has with Hanner. Everything textbook play.
Johnson serving. Made it to the tourney last year with Fairfield. Somehow that is not an ace. The dump and ready for it was Uluwave. There is the Texas State block.
I thought that was a tool on Wheeler. Whether or not, that was a great swing. She was purposely going for that tool. I think it hit her last second. Nice block by Texas State, but Wheeler's still trying to get that tool. It was a good idea.
Wheeler answers back with the point for SMU. She was the preseason all-conference player of the year, ended up an all-conference first-teamer.
When the tool doesn't work for Wheeler, that's fine. She's going to go for a different shot. She makes adjustments in real time and has aggressive hits for anywhere on the floor.
Here's Batenhorst. SMU already with a couple of aces here in set number 1.
Nice serve.
Hanner with the point for Texas State.
Hanner again getting the point, going behind the setter, Ryan Torres. Really in system right now for the offense. Now she's back row. We'll have to see if the new middle for Texas State can make production happen on the slide as well.
That one crosses the net. And Texas State ends up with the point. They're within 4.
I almost can't watch those plays when the ball is that tight on the net, because when everyone jumps up in the air, it just makes you nervous. That's the one thing in volleyball that makes everyone nervous, is a really tight plays at the net.
It looks like we will have our first challenge of the contest. Sam Erger offering up the green card.
Yeah, a lot of net movement in that play right there, whether it was players or the ball. A lot of confusion going on at the net right there, and it started with that overpass from the SMU side. Oh, yeah, somebody was majorly in the net. The net does not move that much from the ball. That was a quick call for the refs.
So there you go, the call stands. Texas State again pulling within 4. SMU was up by 7 a moment ago. Off the Hanner serve. And that one ends up an SMU point. Lee couldn't save it.
Shimei is just so springy in her approach. When you watch her, it's like she's a bunny, literally hopping off the floor. Watch right at your screen. Look how high she gets. She is so athletic, physical, and has a great snap and swing.
Wheeler off the tape, a pancake by Ortega. Texas State with the point. So the Bobcats not going away here in set number 1, hitting 222, SMU 280. Hesitation there by Torres. That one hammered by Nia Shimei, the transfer from Wyoming.
Great decision by Shimei, literally dropping that left shoulder and making sure she's reaching so high so that her shoulder can turn right down the line, taking full advantage of 4 Texas State hands pulled into the center.
Luave serving. AAC Libero of the Year. For that one was Luave. There's Purdue. And Texas State again within 4.
Texas State really dug themselves out a really big hole. This set would look a lot different if they did let SMU go on such long runs early on.
Here's Maggie Walsh, 25 aces on the year. Luave. Purdue. One-handed off Ortega. 2 Bobcats collide, and it goes out of play.
That play right there is going to be the difference. Who moves on to the second round of the tournament? You cannot give your opponent a free ball going out. It's those little simple things that have to be fixed before you even start playing.
Mustangs getting closer to set point. Shimei. KJ Johnson right into the SMU block. Set point Mustangs. Nia Shimei with the serve. That one off of Uluwave. Texas State stays alive here in set number 1.
Texas State's good at answering when you challenge them. They're that team that's not afraid to have their back in the corner. They have to answer, though, earlier in the set.
Ortega, the junior, set point again for SMU. Clothier. In the middle, hesitation. Lucky they kept the point alive. Purdue. KJ Johnson off the block. And too strong from Purdue trying to finish off that set. But we play on. Set point number 3 for the Mustangs. Purdue again, this time doesn't miss. And SMU takes the opening set 25-20.
Purdue's the player, when she makes an error, she wants that ball back for redemption. She's not coming with the tip of the roll. She's going with that huge hard hit.
The postseason continues here in Austin. Set number 2 on the way between the Mustangs and the Bobcats. Championship match will take place on ABC on December 17th. But don't forget, our whip-around coverage is already underway. The 5th set taking place as we speak on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app, covering action from all around the country in the first and second rounds of the NCAA Volleyball Championship. The winner from this region, the first and second rounds, will take on the winner of the first 2 rounds from the Tennessee region. Again, coming up later tonight here at Gregory Gym, number 2, Texas taking on their rivals, Texas A&M. One of just 3 first-round matchups around the country to feature Power 5 versus Power 5. As for Tennessee's side of the bracket, they will hit the floor tomorrow in Knoxville. After one set, SMU up 1-0. Mustangs hit 219 in that first set. To you, Shelby, what was the storyline there in set number 1?
SMU just extends points. They dig, they serve, receive well. And Texas State struggled hitting, but eventually they got their footing. SMU, though, just wouldn't let the ball hit the ground. For Texas State to catch back up, they had to come out hot from the second set immediately.
SMU prepped for this time of the year with a tough non-conference schedule. 5 matches against top 25 teams: Nebraska, Purdue, FSU, Baylor, and Houston. Set number 2 underway. Johnson pushes it over. Flying it is Purdue, but flying right into the Texas State block.
Jay Dupree, the defensive player of the year for her conference, and you can see why. Doing such a good job. Lined up with Wunsch. That's a great duo right there at the front. If you're hitting against them, you got to hit over or around.
Ortega with the serve for Texas State. In the middle. That one knocked down Walsh. And Texas State with the early lead here in set number 2.
I like the reaction from Sam Wunsch, letting her defense bleed into her offense and getting her team pumped up. This is exactly why momentum is so important early in this set for your team to keep continuing.
5 blocks for Texas State in this one. But the service error gets SMU on the board here in the second set.
And we talked about how defense was the game changer in the first set. SMU had 16 digs, while Texas State had 8. That just shows you can't beat SMU when they're continuously digging your best hitters.
Nearly an ace for SMU. Free ball for the Mustangs. Sliding over. Clothier gets the point.
Haven't seen too many slide hits from SMU. Clothier doing a really good job going behind her setter, Baton-Horse, and that chemistry is something they work on constantly every single day in the gym.
Wanted to be closer to home. Family from Carrollton, so transferred from FSU to SMU. And Purdue with the point.
Great reaction by Purdue, but Texas State needs a body on the floor. It's okay, you're not going to get every single ball, but your coach wants to see that you gave it your all effort.
Sean Hewitt, the head coach for Texas State, told us the plan was, listen, this is an SMU team that hasn't lost since October 1st. We want to test them early, try to get out to an early lead. They were unable to do that. So now trying to fight back here in set number 2. And tooling the block is Clothier. That is the last person Texas State wants to allow to get in a rhythm here in this one.
Clothier is that hitter that's really good off one foot. She has momentum, she has speed, she has strength. And Baton-Horse wants to find her as much as possible because she's on fire right now.
Clothier, 32nd in the nation in hitting percentage at .387. Chimay ready to go. Diving in to keep it alive was Uluave, but too far from Purdue.
That was a great block put up by Texas State. Purdue, if she would have gone line or deep cross, that would have been blocked. The only option for her was that cut shot. She made the right decision, just got to put that ball a little more in.
Lee serving for Texas State, 1 ace so far today. There's Johnson off the block. And the dump by SMU, and Celia Cullen, the AAC Setter of the Year.
Really aggressive dump by Cullen. I like the reaction, though, from Lee. Left to your screen, black jersey. That is the effort that Sean Hewitt wants from his team. And that was a great dump by Cullen. She's going to get that kill, but you want a body on the ground to try and get your best shot.
Sliding over is Hanner with great precision there and position. Gives Texas State the point. They need somebody to help them fight back here in set number 2.
It's in the slide right now. The slide is working so well for Texas State and SMU. It's all about, can their setters get a good enough pass to run their hitter behind them?
Off the Johnson serve. Flying in and skying one off the block is Chimay.
Chimay getting that kill, that just goes to show you when the ball goes that high, that means the blocker is just a little too late. Got to make sure all 4 hands are timed perfectly against Chimay.
Clothier, dangerous server, 26 aces. Oh, the dump totally caught SMU off guard. Ryan Torres.
But it starts with that great pass by KJ Johnson. SMU needs to stop serving her. She is getting 3 option passes every time, and I understand the strategy. Try and get the best outside, out of system, out of rhythm, but all of her passes are on point right now, leading to a great kill for Torres.
Texas State within 1, but those service errors are killing them right now. The Bobcats with 5 service errors, SMU with none. Mustangs hitting 209, Bobcats 179. Casey Batenhorst.
Again going to KJ Johnson and another 3-option pass.
Good dig from Frazier. Pushed over. One hand on it and out of bounds off Ortega.
Wheeler doing a good job at pushing that ball to the middle of the court. That spot that's always open for everyone. But she read that the wings are too far off. Not ready to get that ball up.
SMU with a couple of aces, and again, no service errors. Make it 3 aces for the Mustangs.
Well, finally the Mustangs stopped serving KJ Johnson. She's getting 3-option passes, and you would think that the libero always gets a 3-option pass, but not everyone's perfect.
SMU on a roll right now, a little 3-0 run. Mustangs up by 4. Service error number 1 of the contest for SMU.
SMU doing a really good job at serving aggressively. Even when it is a 3-option pass, the balls are going over and in. They're hard. That says a lot when you have your first service error, second set of the match.
Well, Texas State coming in as the underdog against the 7th seed SMU. Sean Hewitt told us it's okay if we have service errors, but we have to have aces to go along with that, to have a shot at beating SMU. Right now, 5 service errors, 1 ace for Hewitt's squad. Torres. Chimay with the point.
Shanae has hang time. She can literally wait for the ball in the air. That's how high she gets. That's how deep her approach is. And that hang time lets her reach so high and go for that deep corner that most hitters can't get to.
7 kills already, a match high. Chimay with 7, Wheeler with 6, both hitting better than 400. It's been the key so far offensively for SMU. Luave with the dig. Chimay again with the point, kill number 8.
Keep feeding Chimay. She is doing everything right, and she's doing it with style. She's going for different approaches, different shots, and it's all going right for her right now.
Take a break in Austin. SMU are already up 1-0 and leading here in the second. There were a lot of names we talked about heading into this one. Nia Chimay has topped them all right now. 8 kills, hitting .462.
Chimay is on fire. Right now, everything is going well because she's continuously moving the ball around. She's going through the hands. She's going over the block. She's finding that open line shot. She's doing everything right, and that connection with her setter, Batenhorst, is clearly there.
One of the few players on SMU not to win in AAC accolade. We talked about they had the player of the year, libero of the year, setter of the year, coach of the year. But it has been Chimay leading the way. There's Alex Glover, senior from Magnolia. And now SMU doubling up Texas State. Dangerous spot here for the Bobcats against a team that hasn't lost in 2 months. Texas State responds. Sam Wunsch.
Sam Wunsch is strong. If your hands aren't set and stopped against her, she's going to read that and go for your fingers and force your hand to fall back.
There's Maggie Walsh serving. Older brother J.W., former starting quarterback for Oklahoma State a decade ago. Purdue going over the block that time and gets the point.
And Purdue was trying to find that line shot earlier. Wasn't working out. Hitting out cross a couple times. She made the adjustments on the line shot. Now it's falling in.
Tied for the second most kills on the team. Johnson comes flying in, and that is in. KJ Johnson.
Textbook play for Texas State. KJ Johnson coming in for the rip, completely leaving SMU's blockers stunned. That fast offense is what Sean Hewitt said. We had our identity last year. We've been trying to find that all season, and KJ Johnson's showing it right now.
Purdue sends it off the block.
Great hustle.
Maggie Walsh. Uluave. Purdue. That one dug out by the Bobcats. In the middle, Clothier denied. Wunsch, free ball for the Mustangs. Tapped over by Shimei. What a dig by Ortega. Uluave. Purdue saves it. Johnson, Purdue is there, what a rally. Wunsch. And Texas State ends up with an epic point.
Defense, defense, defense. Look at this hustle from Texas State. Walsh is not letting the ball hit the floor, and it's going on both sides. Everything is all in digs right now. SMU, Texas State, everyone refusing to let that ball hit the ground. I wish I would have counted the digs. Best rally of the match so far. Close
call there. Unable to finish off the point was Hanner. Purdue drops it in there.
Texas State was so used to those hard hits from SMU that Olivia Adero so pulled back in the wings that Purdue saw that. She saw that open spot right over the blockers, left wide open. Great eye.
Off the Shimei serve. Tapped over, Uluave. Got a hand on it, but the point goes to Texas State.
And now Texas State is also finding success going for that hole because both teams are just shell-shocked right now. They're used to those hard hits, getting stopped and loaded in base. Got to stay on your toes, be able to run down those balls that are barely tipped over the block.
Jacqueline Lee out of the Woodlands. Clothier responds with the point. All-American at Florida State and leading the team in hitting percentage and blocks in her lone season with the Mustangs. And that one is in. Fourth ace of the contest for SMU. Olinger.
A nice ace by Olinger. I personally thought that ball was going out. That's why it's so important for receivers to put their feet on the line, platform out, make sure you know it's going in or out.
That was her 156th ace. There's no challenge there, obviously. Close call. She follows that up with a service error. One more look at that ace a moment ago.
Oh, right on the line. It doesn't get more perfect than that ace right there.
5-point set. Wheeler, haven't called her name in a while, gets the point for the Mustangs.
If you listen when SMU hitters are in the air, you can hear the defense telling them where to hit. Wheeler has her back row telling her swing cross, swing short, hole in the middle. SMU doing a really good job of communicating from the back row to the front.
The hardest workers on the team, Sam Erger, she said she went in one season from touching 10 feet to 10.5. Pretty much in just a matter of months. Hard to believe, but true.
That is a crazy fact. The fact that you can make your vertical go up 5 inches in 1 year is actually incredible. And Sophie Child showing off her own vertical in that offense for Texas State right now.
Bobcats playing from behind nearly the entire contest. Down by 5. Hanner serving. And the point for Texas State, 17-13 SMU.
Texas State right now is taking away that line shot for SMU. SMU has to either avoid the blocker's hands while making it still go in, or go for the cross shot, go for the middle.
Sliding over was Cullen. SMU comes back with a point. So every time Texas State tries to go on a run, the Mustangs put a pretty quick end to that one, back up by 5. SMU hitting nearly 300 on the day. Casey Batenhorst with one of 4 SMU aces today. Tapped over. Texas State with a subtle point.
Right now for both Texas State and SMU, the hole in the middle of the court is working. Everyone's expecting these big hits. They're getting loaded in their base. They're sticking to the wings. And if I'm the hitters, keep going for the middle till that ball's picked up.
Ryan Torres, senior out of Buda, missed a couple of weeks due to a concussion earlier in the year. But back and healthy for the postseason. Tooling the block, however, is Chimay.
That kill was all in strength for Chimay. Anyone else who was not as strong as her would have been blocked. The block was there for Texas State. They were pressing. She doesn't care. Chimay literally goes into the block and forces those hands to go against her. Would that work against Asia O'Neal or Molly Phillips? Probably not, but Chimay's that player that makes adjustments in real time.
There are so many weapons on this SMU team. A reason they have won 15 straight. That one mishit out of play. Mustangs up by 6. Again, when you go over the conference awards and accolades, setter, player, libero of the year, and it's none of those that has been the star so far. Instead, Chimay, 9 kills, hitting .467, 3 digs. I mean, for Texas State now, after already dropping the first set, what can you do here late in the second?
Texas State has to get creative because right now SMU's defense is everywhere. SMU has 26 digs while Texas State has 15. The hitting really isn't the problem. Texas State's hitting .250. That's really good. That's exactly where you want to be. And SMU's hitting right over 300. So this match right now is just all about defense. Who can finally find a way to make that ball drop?
3 SMU players with at least 7 kills, including Natalie Purdue. And Sam Erger was talking about the year she has had. She has battled injuries throughout her career, the Dallas native, having the best season of her career and a strong start in the postseason today.
And Sam Erger said that she plays like she has something to lose. She has that fire. She's competitive. Purdue also knows her shots. She'll work with what you give her, and she'll adjust in real time no matter who's in front of her.
Second team all-conference, nearly 300 kills, 6 double-doubles. SMU went 18-1 in their final season in the American Athletic Conference. Purdue, a big part of that. Mustangs hitting .305. Efficient offensively, efficient from the service line, 4 aces and 2 service errors for Texas State. Overall, they're hitting .250, 1 ace, 5 service errors. Wheeler getting ready to serve. A few Austin area players involved in this matchup. In the middle, again with the dig, Cullen, setter of the year in the AAC, rolling over. Ortega answers the call. Cullen. Who else? Chimay.
Very deceptive play for SMU. I personally thought that ball was going to the outside, and Texas State did too. The blocker's bit went into the middle, and Chimay took advantage of that really offset block in front of her and went right through the hands.
3-0 run by the Mustangs. The SMU block is right there. Purdue in the middle of it.
SMU completely taking off, and once you pass that 20-point threshold, it's really hard to come back from momentum-wise, especially. And the defense at the front for SMU is unmatched. Blockers in sync, touching, shoulders are there, looking good.
Off the Wheeler serve. That is in, Maggie Walsh. Sophomore out of nearby San Marcos, but her team down by 7.
Perfect spot by Walsh. Sean Hewitt said that she's the team steady Eddie. When her team has pressure on them like this, you go to her. She's the one that's going to get you the kill.
There is one of the best blocking teams in the nation.
A block doesn't get better than this one from Texas State. Watch the hands left to your screen. Look how they point back into the court. Sam Wunsch literally made her left hand go back into the middle. That's how you don't ever get tooled.
Oluwave, dangerous play there, and tooling the block is Wunsch. All Sunbelt first teamer. Bobcats going on a run with Walsh serving. Purdue. Free ball for State. That one drilled off of Cullen by KJ Johnson.
Alex, yesterday you asked why there are more facials in volleyball. That's because these players have fast reaction. Even if it's not a dig, you use your shoulder, you use your body, anything but your face to make sure that ball stays in play.
So the Bobcats pulling within 4. We talked about Texas watching from the stands. What's the scouting report so far? Let's stick with SMU right now. They won the first set, leading here in the second.
If I'm Texas or Texas A&M watching SMU, I am seeing they are digging literally everything right now. You're going to have to figure out ways to make that ball go over their block and hit the ground. But you don't worry about that. You worry about what's in front of you, especially in the postseason. How do you get past today? You figure out the next team tomorrow.
The coverage of the Division I Women's Volleyball Championship continues through Sunday on ESPN+. For more information on match times and listings, visit NCAA.com. Home for all 90 NCAA championships. You talked about digs, Shelby. SMU with nearly twice as many of them compared to Texas State, 29-16.
And when you look at those numbers, you would think Texas State is playing poor defensively. That is not the case. The bodies are on the floor, the read is there. SMU's offense is just overwhelming. Their defense, however, is the star of the show right now. Everyone, libero, wings, setter, everyone is getting in on the phone when it comes to digs for the Mustangs.
Well, Texas State is hitting .385 in this set, but still down by 4.
Yeah, that's when a team's frustrated. When you look at paper and your team's hitting .254, but you still can't get the lead, your team's doing everything they can.
4-0 Texas State run. Flying in is Chimay, kill number 11 for the senior.
Right now, Chimay is not trying to go line or over the block. She's not avoiding hands whatsoever. She's already figured out, I'm stronger than this. I'm going to keep going through the hands, and then if she faces someone else tomorrow, she'll adjust in real time then.
Oluwave serving. SMU back up by 5. Johnson flying in. Chimay. State was ready that time. Oluwave behind her. Purdue too far.
And even if Texas State can't pull this set off, you want to have that momentum going into the third set. Try and rally some points right now.
Ortega. Chimay with a dart. Set point SMU.
If you blink, you're going to miss the approach from Chimay. That's how athletic and powerful and fast she is. And that's why the Texas State block wasn't there, because she's just that fast of a hitter.
She is putting on a show. 12 kills, hitting .526. And SMU cruising to the 2-0 lead here in the opening round in Austin. Mustangs took the first set 25-20 and following up there, Shelby.
And Mustangs took it from the defense. It's all about how can you get around the back row players, make that ball drop. Texas State has a lot on their plate in the third set. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Beautiful night in Austin for the first round of the NCAA Volleyball Championship. SMU with the 2-0 lead over Texas State. Alex Logan, Shelby Coppins here with you with Gregory Jim. Taking a look at the bracket here in Austin. Coming up in just a bit, approximately an hour. The defending national champions, Texas, taking on, of course, their arch rival, Texas A&M, for the first time in a decade. What's your early preview of that matchup we're going to see here in a little bit?
Besides being excited to see Texas and Texas A&M play, it doesn't get better of a rivalry than that. Jamie Morrison, the new head coach of Texas A&M, has done a lot, taking them to the tournament. They're not playing with the pressure. Texas, let's be real, they expect to move past the first round always. If anyone's going to give them a struggle, a challenge, it's going to be Texas A&M this season.
Texas leads the all-time series. How about the Longhorns in the opening round of the NCAA tournament? An incredible 35-0 for A&M, as you mentioned. No pressure on them. They were one of the last 4 teams selected to make the NCAA tournament. And here on the opening day of the tournament, we've already seen some upsets from around the country taking place. Baylor taking down James Madison. How about 2 sweeps right there? Western Michigan defeating the 7th seed Auburn 3-0.
I'm more surprised at Western Michigan defeating Auburn. Auburn was a team last season that had no seniors. Those players are young, freshmen, sophomores, literally built their program, went to the tournament, and then to be swept is really interesting to me. Baylor doesn't surprise me as much. JMU, a really talented team, but Baylor's a beast. They're that team that wants to beat you in 3 that first round, absolutely.
For SMU, the 7th seed here in Austin, at least through the first 2 sets right here, no upset looking like it's going to happen thanks to the play of Nia Chimay, the senior transfer from Wyoming. 12 kills, hitting .526 with 3 digs to boot.
Nia Chimay completely going off. In that first set, she was going for line, she was going for different shots. In that second set, nope, she's going right for the blocker's hands. She's making them fall backwards. She's using her strength. Again, would that happen tomorrow? Would that still work if they move ahead? Not so sure, but you do what happens, or what works, I should say, right now, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Now for Texas State, they are down to potentially their final set of the season. What do they have to do to get back in this?
Texas State again got to get creative. It's frustrating for them because they're hitting .230. Hitting could be a little bit better, but that's pretty good. Right now, SMU's just getting everything up. You got to make sure you're down for the long rallies. You're down for the long plays. Try and use that middle of the court, get SMU off their feet.
Sean Hewitt said he knew his team was in for a run this year when they pulled off the reverse sweep earlier this season against North Texas and then swept Houston in the next match. And they get the first point here in set number 3.
Now, one thing that Texas State is doing better than SMU is blocking. The block is really paired up. They're connected. They're pressing, doing a really good job. Not so much against Chimay, but the rest of the team they're giving a challenge to.
Going on a few runs today with Walsh serving. Chimay denied. We're back to her, and once again, Texas State ready at the net. Purdue on the other side. Dug out by Ortega. Johnson with the point.
It starts with the defense for Texas State. Again, they have to be down to be in the long rallies, and that's the only way it's going to bleed into offense, producing points after an extended point rally.
They grabbed the early lead in the last set as well. Chimay answers. Smoked that one. Kill number 13.
Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. The defense for Texas State made the right read, body on the ground. The block was there, but Chimay was just that strong of a hitter.
Purdue at the net for SMU.
ISO block for Purdue. All on her own, up against Sam Wunsch, one of the best hitters for Texas State. Purdue not worried about it, doing their job. Timing's there, hand placement's there.
Purdue's second team all-conference and SMU's last year in the AAC before they head to the ACC. And once again, Natalie Purdue.
And earlier, Purdue was getting that line shot taken away from her, especially in that second set. She's adjusted, she's liking that cross shot, not trying to be too hard with the cut, but just letting it drop right in front.
Pushed over, free ball for SMU. Off the block, Chimay.
Nice set.
Purdue. Swooping in is Purdue. 3 straight points by Natalie Purdue.
And Purdue's getting kills because Cullen is flicking this ball from all over the court. Even when she's not facing her hitters, even if she's facing the net or the back row, she can still go over her shoulders and get that window that Purdue needs.
Purdue has 9 kills, second most in the match. Johnson, point SMU. 5-0 run for the Stangs.
You're talking about coverage and how important it is for every player to be behind their hitter. When it's a block like that, sometimes there's just nothing you can do, even when your coverage is ready for the ball.
Took the air out of Texas State after the Bobcats scored the first 2 points of the set. Make it a 6-0 run. Again, SMU looking to make it 16 consecutive victories and move on to the second round in a matchup tomorrow night against the winner of Texas and Texas A&M. Diving for that one was Chimay. She's doing everything. Wunsch tooled the block. Point Texas State.
An aggressive swing by Wunsch, really taking advantage of being a lefty on the right side and getting that tool.
Ortega. In the middle, Clothier. They haven't needed too much from her. The best players in program history, SMU back up by 4. You talk about the 2-time All-American and AAC Player of the Year, Emma Clothier, number 16. They've only needed 4 kills from her. She's hitting 154, and they've still dominated despite that. Saving that one is Torres. Chimay diving. Wheeler. Ortega showing off the agility. Diving in is Uluwave, but the Bobcats take the point.
Wunsch taking advantage of the libero, pulled really far back, and Wunsch reads that, makes the right decision, and goes right over the net. And Uluwave doing the right decision, trying to get that run through, but her base is already committed too deep.
This has been the story. The Bobcats fall behind big, pull within about 3 or 4, but SMU has prevented them for the most part of getting any closer than that in this match. Just the fact that Texas State is even here after losing 99% of their production from a season ago is already impressive. Wunsch serving for Texas State, well out of play.
And Texas State, number 7, Zach Hartley, for SMU, number 16, Emma Cloutier.
In the match, SMU hitting 273, the Bobcats 189. Mustangs took the first set 25-20, the second 25-19. Cloutier. And that one is in. The Mustangs up 9-4.
It's all the serve and pass game for Texas State right now. That service error leading into serve receive errors. Got to get out of this rotation as soon as possible if you're Texas State.
Mustangs trying to pull away here and finish off a sweep. They have controlled play right from the opening moment of this match in round number 1 in Austin. Wheeler tooling the block.
And a great set by Cullen. Again, just flicking the ball perfectly. In volleyball, you have a saying with, oh, you pretty hands. I met someone in the hotel today, and she used to play volleyball, and she thought I had pretty hands. So I'm like, no, no, no. But Cullen has pretty hands. That means the ball just floats in the air. It's almost frozen. Really fun setter to watch.
Cullen with 31 assists in the match. 4 aces so far for SMU, and just preventing another one was Maggie Walsh. Into the net it goes from Johnson.
KJ Johnson really far off the net. Wasn't able to take a full approach because of where that set was. Had to go with that 2-step approach. Just got to get over and in. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Our whip-around coverage of the 2023 NCAA Volleyball Championship continues with the 5th set all week on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. First round getting underway here in Austin. The first of 2 matches tonight. Coming up in just a bit, number 2 Texas, the 2nd seed, taking on their arch rivals, the Aggies of Texas A&M, right around 6 p.m. Central. SMU looking for the sweep here in the opening round, having won 15 straight coming into this one. Took the first 2 sets, up 11-4, make it 12-4, running away with it.
Wheeler with the kill, but Chimay with that dig. And again, extending her body, putting her platform on the ground. The defense is the story for the Mustangs so far.
SMU hitting 300 in the match. Texas State 167. Hanner had to hold up for that one. Chimay, defensively, she's put on a show as well. Johnson waits for it. Off the block. Pushed over by Wheeler. Set up for Wheeler. Ortega's there. Point for SMU.
Huge kill by Wheeler. She takes such a big approach, and if your block's not right in front of her, your left back rider gets stopped and loaded.
Largest lead of the match. And how about Naya Chimay with a double-double, 13 kills and 11 digs. Hanner sliding over right into the SMU block. The Mustangs can do no wrong right now.
Mustangs completely pumped up, as they should be, from this block by Glover. Did a good job at reading the slide approach in front of her and placing her hands and getting stopped.
7-0 SMU run. The Cloutier serve. Hanner tools the block this time.
Nice response by Bailey Hanner, going for that slide and testing the SMU block that just got her teammate earlier, not being afraid to be aggressive.
KJ Johnson with the ace. They needed that badly. Ace number 2 on the day for the Bobcats.
Interesting setup for SMU. Their middle Glover right in the middle. Usually you're pulled up to the left front and leave that middle open for middle back.
Released over. Texas State trying to go on a run. Here late in the contest, Sophie Childs, the junior, with the point. Pushed over by Wheeler, and it hits the floor.
Texas State has to start picking up those tips from SMU. The middle of the court is always open for volleyball, but the wings have to be committed. You have to read the arm of Wheeler and see that she's going for the tip. She's dropping down. She's not swinging hard.
Casey Batenhorst, the sophomore out of Houston, serving. And SMU up 16-7.
SMU just taking off. All the momentum is on the Mustang side. But for Texas State, you've got to eliminate those little errors like hitting into the antenna.
A lot of self-enforced errors by Texas State in this one against a red-hot SMU team. Batted at by Ortega, falling over. Johnson.
Good dig, good read.
Batenhorst with the dump attempt. Ulawave with the dig. Hanner. Point Texas State.
Good read for Texas State defensively, keeping that ball alive. And again, Alyssa Ortega making sure she keeps the ball in front of her, gets that ball back into the middle of the court, and finally, the slide is working out so well for the Bobcats. That's why it's so important to have good serve receive and good digging.
And with the second most kills on the day for Texas State, charging in was Jamison Wheeler. Wheeler now leads all players with 14 kills, hitting 500, along with 9 digs. Chimay with nearly the same line, but there's a service error. Wheeler and Chimay, one has 14 kills, the other 13, both hitting over 470. Chimay with 11 digs, Wheeler with 9. Off the Torres serve. Chimay.
Chimay's so good on the right side because she's so comfortable turning her body into the court. She doesn't need to be on the outside to be successful. Usually the most successful right sides are lefties because the court is open to their body. Not her. She's fine on the left or the right.
Ulawave serving. SMU continues to dominate. Tapped over. SMU tied up there. 8-point set.
What makes Wunsch special is that not only is she a great hitter, but look at her face. She plays with confidence. She refuses to let SMU put the pressure on her.
Walsh with the serve. Purdue with the point.
And Purdue's so far off the net with that approach. That set was really far off, and she still went for that hard kill. That shows you how comfortable she is from anywhere hitting. 3
players for SMU with double-digit kills. Chimay and Wheeler with 14, Purdue with 10. Service error makes it an 8-point set. No matter the outcome of this one, Texas State with a tremendous year. Sean Hewitt making the postseason for the 2nd time in his 4 years as a head coach. He said everybody counted us out this season, said it was a rebuilding year. We proved them wrong and made the NCAA tournament. Ortega serving, down 7. the middle, Clothier batted at by Walsh, but SMU getting closer and closer to finishing this one off.
And the offense from SMU is absolutely there as well. Clothier, who came back to play, wants to enter the draft. She wants to play professionally, so she doesn't want her volleyball career to end today or anywhere in the near future.
Olinger, the transfer from Boise State. The dig out of play.
Right now, Texas State needs to keep finding Sam once. She's bringing a lot of momentum and kills. As she goes out is what I say good things about her. That's how it works, Alex. But that's when Texas State has to dig even deeper. When Sam Wunsch is out, who else are you going to look to at the front row to make production happen?
Talented freshman, a lot of family and friends on hand here for the Vandergrift product. Wheeler ran right into the Texas State block. She'll try it again, and it's in.
15 kills. 15 kills for Wheeler, and she stayed aggressive. And Texas State can't figure her out. The block is not there, and she's doing a good job of moving the ball around, trying out different shots.
Wheeler and Chimay combined 29 kills, 20 digs, and both hitting 500. A few late service errors by SMU, letting Texas State hang around. KJ Johnson, what a career for the senior transfer, Sun Belt newcomer of the year. Made the postseason with Baylor and Fairfield. But her team in trouble here, down 2-0. And now trailing in the third, 22-14. So it's looking more and more like SMU will play the winner of Texas and Texas A&M. Again, the Longhorns and Aggies coming up in a bit. Texas has never lost in the first round. So will we see Texas and SMU tomorrow night? Joust. After that one was hammered by Wheeler. Diving in to keep it alive. What a defensive play by Brooke Frazier. Wheeler tooling the block.
SMU is just not scared of Texas State's block right now. Wheeler again going right in front of her. And Texas State, if they were just pressing a little bit more, that probably would have been blocked. But she read that their hands were off the net. All
smiles for the Mustangs, looking for win number 26 on the year, and more importantly, advancing to the second round of the NCAA tournament. 2 points away. Wheeler. And getting the point is Sophie Childs, the junior.
Texas State responding just a little too late right now for SMU. Keep trying out different shots. Take the aggressive service errors right now and try and get a 3-option pass. For Texas State, go on a run as much as possible.
Melissa Clark serving, the freshman out of Round Rock. In the middle, why not? Wheeler, and match point on the way for SMU.
And Wheeler coming in for the 2. SMU trying out different plays right now offensively, and that's exactly what they should do, experiment right now.
In just their third postseason appearance in program history, 1 point away from advancing. They won in the first round here back in 2016, beating Texas A&M to face the host Longhorns. Match point number 2 for SMU. Ortega. And SMU is moving on to the second round. The Mustangs with a sweep of Texas State here in Austin.
Incredible match for SMU. Again, it was a match of defense for the Mustangs. finishing with 44 digs, holding Texas State down to 158 hitting-wise. Tomorrow, though, they're going to have to change things up. Things that were working against the block of Texas State might not work in the second round, but they were about that tomorrow.
They'll be looking to make history tomorrow night. Today, they advance to the second round for the first time since 2016. They have never made it to the third round. Will they face Texas, the host Longhorns, or Texas A&M? That one coming up from here in Austin in about a half hour. The Longhorns facing the Aggies on LHN. SMU awaits the winner. An impressive performance by the Mustangs. The AAC champs make it 16 wins in a row with the sweep of Texas State, and they will move on to play the winner of the Horns and the Aggies on Friday night. For Shelby Coppage, I'm Alex Loeb. We thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in 30 minutes.